things, I nearly did something that could have stayed, and because we clashed a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when my son was born. So.
Okay. So that's, I mean, did you I think you said your son was 19.
He's turning 19.
Turning 19,
month, yeah.
right. So did you guys separate since then, or?
No, he was 2.
When he was 2?
In PE.
You guys were living in PE?
No, he made me move. There was all these lavishly promises, and obviously it was not me. I had, for 3 months, the only communication I had was a toddler.
Wow, where was he?
Either working or drinking.
Right. Okay.
And if he's at home, then he's always on the PlayStation or the computer or the... I say, I'm married. I gave birth to 1 child, not 2.
Right. Okay. And how did you guys meet?
Actually, him and his brother, I know his brother from Pick and Pay. He worked there all the years, but he is one of those loudmouth people.
Okay.
So when you walk into Pick and Pay, you go, Chantal! I was like, ooh, yeah. Every time my grandma says go to Pick and Pay, so I don't want to. Yeah. So anyway, I started bartending at the age of 15.
You started barging?
Bartending.
Oh, bartending. Okay.
Yeah, in Rustenburg with my cousin. Sorry. She was a manager there. She said, I look older. I must just tell the boss I'm 18 years old. I say, okay, fine. That time I did have my ID. Go, you won't get my ID. Anyway, so yeah, from there, when I came back to Cape Town, because it's like clockwork, I can go anywhere, but 3 months, something triggers in the back of my head to go back to Cape Town.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I came back and then started barging there by Purple Onion.
Okay.
Yeah, and he brought his brother there anyway, so and I am a type of person, when I'm in that environment, I see somebody sitting so quiet, I say, I get very uncomfortable with quiet people, even if there's a room of people going wild.
Why?
That one, I don't know, because it is, I'm the type of person, I'm a very quiet person normally. I'm very for myself, but because of my depression and all that, if I feel something, I'm going to do something stupid, then I end up going out and then I go, or some friends come visit now and again, but yeah, otherwise I'm mostly alone.
Okay. But I mean, what do you mean, like, you'll end up doing something stupid? Like, what would be the stupid thing?
Unfortunately, I have cutter. Yeah, and I don't like to feel like it. It's because I miss my son, I don't get to see him as much as I like to. And financial and career is not going anywhere, so... And then it's my living conditions with law enforcement, and then it's just everything, you feel like you're boxed in between a rock and a hard place. You can't get out of it, yeah.
Right.
And then I just take the blame.
Okay. And at that time, do you realize that you're actually cutting yourself?
Yeah, I do, because for me, I don't know why, it's just like when you see your blood flowing, it's like, okay, emotional pain is a lot worse than physical. But for some reason, it feels like you're releasing it, you know? But I pray to God every time that feeling comes, and yeah.
But you haven't had that feeling for a while now?
I actually had it now last weekend. The one night, it was Saturday night, yeah. I really, I don't know what was worse me that day. Was like seriously democratic day. But yeah, but I prayed hard and I didn't do it. But the Sunday, unfortunately, the devil took over for a little while, but not heavy.
Okay.
They don't want to bleed anymore anyway, so I don't know why I bother. Yeah, but I'm not proud of it. I end up crying and saying, sorry, Lord.
But you're not taking any medication or anything like that?
No, the antidepressants, I took it when I first discovered I had it, but eventually I thought to myself, you can't sleep. It's like sleeping pills, you can't sleep your life away. And life goes so quickly, I mean, you miss a lot. So I threw myself into my artwork more and my music. So as long as I have one or both, even better. But my bloody radios keep getting stolen, so yeah, I'm screwed in that department.
Right.
But yeah, I tried to turn there more.
Okay. And I mean, when you were, I mean, growing up, I mean, the depression, did you have it from a young age, or when did you?
I think I've had it from a young age because my mother and my father, they got divorced when I was 5. And my father was he was a private in the army, and he used to come home and give his whole pay to my mother. He says he would just want a bottle of brandy, which made him lekker mal. He used to go to the next door neighbor and hit his head into the wall. I don't understand why he had to go next door to do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he was a very jealous person. And I remember the one day we were standing, my mother was on her way to Pick and Pay. Now he was standing by the lounge window and watched her the whole time to see if any men approached her or she was talking, you know, that he bedankery. In elk geval, yeah, and he saw her talking to somebody and he lost his plot. And at 5 years old, it's the first time I put my hand right through a window and I pulled it back like that. And ever since, my grandmother, she wanted to kill me because I've broken every window in the lounge and in my rooms so many times. Oh, shame, Yara.
Why the window?
Temper.
Sorry?
I had a very bad temper after that, yeah.
Okay.
My oma says, van 'n merwestreke. Dis net soos jou pa.
But was your father always a man? Was it only when he drinks?
Only when he drank, yeah.
And he was in the army?
Yeah.
What do you think the army did to those guys?
Yo, I don't know, but my cousin, who's in New Zealand now, he actually moved there because of he was in the parabats on the border.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a horrible temper. He triggered anything could trigger him. That's why he decided just to move there those years.
Really?
Because it really made him to Makai. So I can imagine.
I think a lot of bad things. The guys who went to the army while during conscription, and they went to the border, whether it was Namibia or wherever. I think a lot of guys saw a lot of bad things and did a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
And there was never ever mental help to help them now, to try and deal and counsel and all that stuff. So when they went home, that's why Branavan and Coke was the go-to drink, you know.
It's
because
not the rain, it makes you mad.
Yeah, you know. So at 5, you saw that, and then from 5 years old, growing up, were you the only child?
Yeah, me too, my mother and my father.
Okay, and where did you go to school?
I was on a play school in, I don't know, the road to Mitchell's Plain.
Okay.
In the fields.
Oh, Philippi.
Yeah, Philippi
Right,
side.
right.
They were on the corner, as you take the corner going to Plain, the school was there.
Okay.
I had a headmistress that for some reason did just not like me. I don't know if it's because I used to beat the boys in the tunnel thing or I don't know. But my teacher had to pick me up in the mornings and drop me in after school. And eventually my mother she said, no, this is nonsense now. She's going to throw me into an English school. Lovely. Took me here, I think about time more.
Okay.
Took me a year to learn how to speak English.
So you were speaking Afrikaans.
It was hard because you brought up Afrikaans.
Okay.
If my mother wanted to do skinner, she's going to do English because she knew I couldn't understand. And with my baby brothers was again, she's going to do Afrikaans because he's an English boy.
Okay.
Yeah, so after that I went to Plumsera. Yeah.
Okay, and and at school were you a straight and narrow child? When you mentioned you had anger issues.
Yeah, you know, the clique and myself as the girls beating up the boys, you know, making your rip, you know.
Yes, yeah.
That was the type of girl. But I'm also full of jokes, so that's also another. Yeah.
How was growing up in Cape Town in the 80s? I mean, you were born in 1980?
82.
82. Okay, so how was growing up in that part of...
It was weird because the first time I ever saw a person of color, Ek sê, "Mommy, wat is hy?" Of wie is hy? En toe sê sy, "Is 'n chocolate." I said, "Maar chocolate is loopy, jy kan mos nie vir my toemaak." And then when I was in Tamil, I remember we had to vote now if we wanted people of color in our school.
Okay.
And the two friends of mine, they're twins, but not identical. They were the first three that put our hands up. Everybody looks at us in the hall and they go, "Why you put your hands up so quickly?" I said, "Because we're all sick of your white face."
Oh, is it? And how old are you when you say that?
About 12 or 13. Yeah, no, it was no.
But what do you think made you so aware of your surroundings? And hang on, I'm sick of all these white people. I'm just surrounded with white people.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably because of the rep that we had, and we've been through them all. We need some new meat now.
Okay.
I don't know. Color thing has never been with me. I mean, especially not to be. I hate that word. When sometimes my family would say the K word, and I say, "I don't feel comfortable with you saying that." And I said that long before I even knew about the color story. I felt uncomfortable.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually more uncomfortable in white people's surroundings than I am of anybody else of color. Strangely enough.
That's interesting. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. The Lord made me in a strange way. I ask Him all the time. Where did you come up with me? I'm asking you. Yeah, no, I'm another character.
So 12, you guys put your hands up to say, "No, we want."
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm the type of person I've always been. I love to meet new people. That's why I love bartending, because you get to meet these people and learn them. They like to, especially the older gentlemen. They like to talk about where they came from and how their wives, or
Right.
It's just, I love doing it. That was my thing. I loved it. I bartended from 15 to about 23 when my son was born.
Okay.
Right through my pregnancy, they used to tell me, "Go home." I said, "No." I'm wanting to work.
Waddling to work. Imagine, and a boy, and here's a pregnant woman.
Yeah,
and
I loved it so much. Even if there was crappy hours, I mean, I loved it. Bronchitis, go, no. Just give me a few tequilas, I'll be fine.
No, man.
That and the Nurofen, it helped for a while. Yeah.
So now you're at school and you're bartendering, and any boys in the mix, and
yeah, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah, I had a boyfriend when I started high school. My mother decided she is now, after all these years, she's already got so much money, but after all these years, she wants to now contact my father for maintenance.
Okay.
And yeah, my mother's very over money. Oh, good Lord Almighty. Anyway, so my first year of high school, you put a journalist in front of me for the huisgenoot.
Oh.
I'm telling you, and as I said, I don't like being in front of a camera. So I'm like, they say, okay, well, I was busy with my homework too when they came there. So I'm sitting by my desk and I'm like, yeah, you can take photos as long as I don't see you taking photos, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had to say, my mother said, you must just say, yeah, that you miss your father, you want to see your father. I must not lie for this bloody woman so that she can get her own money. She never ended up getting it, even though he came. Yeah, and he bought me a train ticket to say I must come visit. Yeah, and that just also ended up in disaster.
Why?
Because of my father and my mother's history. And from his side, he's married with 2 sons and a daughter. I got on with my brothers, but the little sister and I did not get on well. As I said, I had a temper. And anything he said about my mother, even though my mother and I do not like each other, I nearly ended up killing them. So his sister, which is actually my godmother, I hear, she took me in when she lived more in the dorpie side, there on the plot.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So how old were you when you went up?
15.
15,
Yeah.
okay. And that's when, you said that's when you were bartending up that side, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's when I moved to his sister, her daughter, her eldest daughter, Mariska.
Okay. Yeah, no, look, parents can't do that. Do you think that it was just the separation was just too long for you guys to bond, or what was it?
I don't know. I just think he never dealt with his issues with my mother. Because I don't even remember him lingering around. I remember he moved to Joburg after that. Because he thought I went with my mother on the train to Joburg. And I went to the zoo, I remember that. But then he moved from there, I guess, to Rustenburg, where the family is here. But I mean, other than that, I saw him 10 years later and never again. So, yeah, so my father was never really a factor in my life. Neither my mother. So
I was gonna ask you how's your relationship with your mom?
Non-existent.
Really?
Yeah, when I lived with my grandmother all my life in Gabriel State, in Plumstead, and once they got divorced, she was never home. She was always out jolling or going to work. The only time she was at home is when she had a steady boyfriend, you know, doing their thing in the room, and you know. Otherwise, she was and to come bath or whatever she was doing and go again.
But she stayed in the same house as your grandma.
Yes.
In the same
until she got married to this douchebag. Yes.
When did that happen?
They were. Well, he was still trying to get with my mother when I was about 11, but they got married when I was turning 13, more around there. And then she finally moved out. Thank you, Lord Jesus. And every time I was in trouble, my grandmother's on the phone. Trudy, your daughter wil nie hoor, kom, asseblief. That's the only time she came is to give me hiding.
Just really?
That's the only time she played mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, then she came quickly. Otherwise, if you needed her for anything else, she was never there. My grandmother, I was born with asthma. So my grandmother used to rush me to the hospital strange hours, and she used to work at Tennyson. And I wasn't allowed there because it was for kids, you know, naughty children, as they always told me. So she had to hide me under the desk, because I must sleep now under the desk because there's nobody to watch after me. So my grandmother was more or less everything. My mother, my father, she was my anchor. But yeah, spijt kom te laat, ne?
So now, your mom now, is she around? Or is
Unfortunately, yes, she works for the magistrate court. Yeah.
Okay.
She's a clerk.
Okay. But your relationship with her is non-existent?
No. And funny enough, I thought if I ever do see her, because she lives close by, but in Ochi side, Wynberg Ochi. But, so obviously now she comes to Checkers and I would like run into her, but I don't even have a heart for her anymore. I'm like stone cold. And I know they say you have to honor thy mother and father, but it can't help you because it means I'm dealing with my issues, baby steps, you know. Rome was built in a day.
Right, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so growing up in Gabriel Street, you're back in Cape Town from your bartending, and you had your son here in Cape Town. Okay. And then at 2 years, you said that you separated.
And unfortunately, every year, January month, I kept on hearing, yes, the divorce papers are coming through. Ek wacht nog altyd vir die. These papers will never arrive.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll probably end up a widow because he's getting very old very quickly by the looks of it. Yeah.
Okay. And let's talk about you. I mean, raising a single or a child as a single mom, how was that?
Tough, but when my grandmother was alive, it helped a lot. Even though when he started talking, he liked to put us against each other, especially when it was homework time. Oh,
they all do. Trust me, they all do that. I've just gone through a state of exams now. And it was war, hey? It was, not seriously, it was war.
I can imagine.
Because they'll do and try and say everything
To
to get out of it.
I know, because normally when he came from school, he was also in time war, then I let him watch all his cartoons, which is more or less 2 hours.
Right.
I said, now you have rested, you have eaten, you are sorted. It's homework time.
Right.
When I turn my back, the man is gone. He's, oh my God. I just say, Chantal, wat maakt ze voor die kind? Ik say, he must do his homework.
Yes.
Because he was very lazy to read and write. Oh, my head.
Mm.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that was like...
How did you get it right? Did you get it right?
Eventually.
How? Please tell. I need lessons because I'm having the same problem.
No, because I'm the type of person, when he gave me a timeout, even then I sit with my books and I write, or I'm with my artwork or something. And you were like, okay. I said, or I try to make games out of the stuff, you know, especially when they're learning when they're in grade 1. Sorry,
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, then you make little games out of it, you know. At the time I was pregnant, I was already planning all these little things, like the alphabet has been printed out.
Right.
So one day to be whatever husband, he used to complain because he had to buy that refill, the inkjet.
Right. Okay, because you just that printer's working overtime.
And paper, thank God, wasn't so expensive like it is now. But
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were you were quite involved and present in his life growing up.
Yeah,
okay.
we were very, very much inseparable. Yeah, even when a friend of mine, her son and him are more or less the same age, went to school together. But anyway, they lived just across the field in Dempino. There were no houses there that time. And he wanted now to go visit his friend. And you know, as they get older, you must learn to like just give a little bit.
You have to let the rope go out a bit and then tighten it up a bit.
So okay, I'll say you go straight there. It's not even. I'm gonna watch him by the gate. Okay, he's around the corner. Now I go.
What, are you tracking him?
Yeah, just a bit. Then when then I make sure he's not outside. I'll say, is he there? Is he there? Is he? He's okay. I'll come around. It was babysit, right?
Yes.
It wasn't built in the day.
Yes.
My mother and we were like this. I'm telling you. Yeah, the only time I was like, you know, not anxious is when he went to his grandmother, which was just idiot's mother, or to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is he doing now?
Unfortunately, I would love to know because a few years ago, I always used to see him at school. And then the one week, I kept walking past and his friends asked me, Auntie Chantal, where's Oren? I said, I know you guys see him every day. But they did it every day, so I went to the counselor because I was very involved there too. Because they had to get on Ritalin because of his ADHD.
Okay.
Anyway, so when they go find out now what is it, I can't believe they allowed that man to take their child out of school without my permission. And then away from his mother where he was, because I went to prison because, yeah, long story. Anyway, so I asked his mother to take Oren because I don't know how long I was going to be away. So, yeah, and I don't actually agree with my mother's morals and values, so... And at least I know you'll be happy there, but then everything went screwed up anyway because I always told my child, are you dying? Are you bleeding to death? No, you're going to school. With them, the car broke down every day, or every second day. It's public transport. The child missed a lot of school, and I started... and anyway, I heard eventually he moved to Mandalay. There is the word I was looking for. Yes, and I didn't even know the place existed. Never heard of it in my life. Yeah, and until last year, and that was over 8 years ago.
8 years ago, the last time you saw him?
Yeah, until last year, yeah. got sent, his father, sister, and her daughter were by the shop. They were checkers, a small shop. And I went in to buy a loose cigarette, and she says, your son is dying to see you. I'm like, do I know you? Because I know her mother, but I didn't see her mother. You know. So she says, no, I'm on his daughter. And I said, Oren wants to see you. So I just burst out crying. I couldn't believe it. I said, with all the crap I've been through, especially on that field there by Burnham Park, that I stayed 5 years without any hassles except for when people moved there, who made my life a living hell. I said, I finally get my reward. My baby back. My baby no longer baby, he's bigger than me.
Oh, so you got to see him?
Yeah, yeah, I decided there was the Friday before Christmas.
Oh.
So I thought to myself, okay, I made enough money, I'm going to give myself a splash, I'm going to get in the train, I'm going. Nothing's going to stop me. And I went, and I mean, when you open the door, I'm like, Oren! He looks at me and he goes, yes? I said, you know who I am? He goes, Chantal. And my heart sunk because he's calling me by my name. And it nearly killed me. Yeah, but we got off, and I couldn't stop hugging him. I'm apologizing every time. I just he probably thought I was bloody mad. But yeah, and then my mother-in-law, yeah, I got hold of him on WhatsApp after that, by a friend, and my mother-in-law invited me to Christmas lunch. And when I got there, he didn't, obviously, the guy I married, he didn't want me to be there. So I thought I was just going to be the bigger person and try and take his hand, but he wouldn't come out of the room. So I went into the room and I said, Merry Christmas. And he said, I didn't want you here. Just get out. I thought, calm down, because my son is there. My son wasn't there. I would have probably done something I would have regretted. So I thank the Lord. Yeah, so I left him alone and I spent the day with him and my mother-in-law and her boyfriend. But New Year's Day, I sent him another WhatsApp message, and I'm sure that idiot's got something to do with him not replying this time. So, and I haven't been able to make enough money to go to retreat. So yeah.
So do you think, I mean, you mentioned how him calling you by your name hurt you. Do you think that he doesn't see you as your mom, as his mom, or why did that hurt you?
Because, I mean, as I say, we were very close, and to think that bond we had, I can't believe his father would do something like that out of spite, or I don't know. Because he was never also a factor really in Oren's life, but when he made promises, then he wouldn't meet the promises, and then he would like suck up with PlayStation games, which is not even age appropriate, which is, when the GT2 came out, Grand Theft Auto, yeah, the second one came out with a guy with a knife. Mm-hmm. Every time Oren threw a tantrum, he went to the kitchen and went to go get a knife. Oh. And I nearly ended up killing Jerome with an axe because of this stuff.
With an axe?
Yeah, my grandmother jumped in the middle with a lighter in her hand and she gave her I told her she must be careful because she could get hurt. But ja, onze boerenfamilie is sterk.
Oh no, Chantal.
Yeah, so she actually saved him without knowing it. Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't spoken to Oren now since January.
Since Christmas.
Christmas. Okay, last year. Okay, but you know at least where he lives.
Yes. I do.
Okay, so you.
And I got his contact number too.
Okay. But I mean, I think that's good progress.
Yes, but as I said, I would have liked to be more involved, but because of his father. Yeah, I have a feeling that it's going to be like the wall of China without having to get violent. That would be the easy way. But, yeah, with respect to him,
And how is he doing in terms of school? He's
a dropout,
okay.
Which broke my heart on top of everything else. Because if it was with me, he would never have been a dropout. But Oren said, the high school that he was going to, and apparently COVID was still thing. He said he felt very, very sick for 2 weeks, and he decided not to go back when he was better. So.
Okay.
And he wants to become a game tester.
A game tester?
Yes, his father, he's most PlayStation, big boys' toys, yeah. And so he obviously fell in those footsteps. Oh, good Lord.
I see. You don't agree with that.
It's not that. It's just I wish he had a plan B too, because becoming a game tester is very, very unlikely unless you actually, becoming like one of those DJ guys, they get to go overseas and test the game.
Okay.
But I'm hoping it will work out for him. I really do. But I just wish he had a backup plan. Because sitting on your backside, and your father's not going to be there all the time for you to get money and kudas. So, yeah. I'm just happy he doesn't drink or smoke.
Okay.
There's another good thing. At least there was an uplift to that, because he's always inside. And I pray, thank God for that, because he's not far from Lavender or the shootings and the gangsters. So I'm actually happy he's an introvert and not an extrovert.
Right.
Yeah, the hermit thing might actually work out.
So maybe in a roundabout way, maybe being a game tester is what you want for him.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because, oh my Lord, if he comes to me and tells me, Mommy, I'm a funky, I'm going to go. What? So I'd rather be game testing, please, oh Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, now just coming back to you in terms of in your 20s and growing up in your 30s, were you still bartending and
as I said, I bartended up until 8. Okay,
24.
Oren was born, I was 23 years old when I had Oren. Up until he was a year old, so up until I was 24. Because my back couldn't take it and my lower back was killing me.
Yes.
So yeah. And then I went into admin after that again.
Just working at an office and doing admin.
Yeah, as I said, I'm behind the scenes, not reception girl. I'm an admin girl. You're at the back with the papers and the
Doing what at the back there?
Oh, the company I work for, they were backlogged so far with SARS. It was 3 companies connected into one. They laid the cables in the ground.
Okay.
But there was one company, when I got thrown in the deep end, there was just files. Those files.
Right.
Just full of SARS papers that I had to. And eventually the company went bankrupt because most of the employees were Zimbabwean and they weren't on the books or whatever the case may be. And over R1 million or something was owed to SARS.
Okay.
So and that's just when everything went south. But luckily, Oren's grade 1 teacher, she helped me get a job because the aftercare lady went on paternity leave, and the 3 months, so I got to fill in there, and then I was jobless for again. And that's where I took up car guarding, and I thought, I'm sick of this now.
When you were unemployed for that year.
Yeah, otherwise I did fabric painting when I had paints and selling that.
Okay. You mentioned that's when things went south.
Yeah.
What?
Well, as I said, I lived with my grandmother all my life, and my son, the one day, he was acting all up, and he wanted to run across the road, and she there by KFC, where that red and white arrow is the island. She slipped and she fell. She broke her hip and her arm, and she had to go in for surgery. So she was away for a while, and
your grandmother.
Yeah, and then from what's that place called in Pinelands?
Vincent Pallotti.
Yes, she went for physio there.
Right.
And
my dad actually went there too. They got a very good physio physio facility there.
Yes. And anyway, yeah, and the one day I phoned there and they told me my grandmother's not there. So my mother or my auntie, obviously. Meanwhile, my mother's making me think that my grandmother's staying by her. I can't contact my grandmother. Meanwhile, when I went to go visit my auntie, when I like really needed something, she was always there. She was a lot like my grandmother. Then she was kept there the whole time. I couldn't believe it. I felt, but I couldn't also not be cross with her because she also helped me a lot. So But one day I was on my way to go fish orange at school. I get a knock on the door. You want to see grandmother's body? It's there by the hospital. That's how I found out my grandmother passed away. I couldn't even see the way I walked over the over the roads. My son, as small as he was, had to help me across the roads because I couldn't even see his mouth. So, that's where everything just went rock bottom. I ended up started doing drugs, not in front of him, thank God. And he's always had what he had to have first before and unfortunately I fell there, but the Lord gave me strength again to step back up. So.
Right. So you started just doing drugs, and it just got.
Just lost myself totally. And then eventually, my mother found reason to kick me out of the house because she was beneficiary of the house. But in the world, which I never got to see, which was promised to show me my mother anyway, but she never did. My auntie also said, apparently to my grandmother, you do realize the minute you're gone, Chantal is on the street with her child. And her words weren't even called. But anyway, and so my mother, she's got everything. The woman is wanting for nothing. They don't even know what to buy her for Christmas or birthdays. And now she finally got the one last thing she wanted was a coast house. She sold my house from under me to go buy a house in the Stillboy. Lovely, no? Why, your daughter is on the road.
So she knew that you were out on the streets with your.
She kicked me out on the street.
And at the time kicking you out, then she moved into the house, or?
No, they rented it out to his family. They got a construction business. Yeah, and they hired it out, and eventually they ended up selling it to another construction business.
And you never got a cent of.
In the beginning, okay, I was a year on the road before I decided she took my son in just because she wanted to take over the maintenance. And in any case, it was more or less the first time I went to prison too, That she said, let me take it over, and Chantal says, up. Yeah. Anyway, so... What was I?
No problem. So she took your son moved in with your mom.
Yeah.
And at that time you went to prison.
Yeah. No, I was out on the street that time, and then eventually I gave up and I said, okay, I'm going to be there by my son because I want to be there by him. It's not, I have to put up with their crap. So they put me in a separate entrance there. And as my stepfather and I don't get along. From day one. Yes, he's just like a... Anyway.
What about him that you didn't get along with?
Well, first of all, he wasn't even dating my mother, and he was already telling me I'm a F-up, I will never amount to anything. You don't know me from a bar, so how can you tell me this? I'm a child. Yeah. And things just built from there, and, no liking, and... Till the day I was forced to move in there because I went to Plumstead High. Every time I went home, I went to Plumstead instead of Hottree. And eventually I just moved back home there for my grandmother. But he asked me the one day, he couldn't even finish a sentence, he wanted me to take his surname. And before he could finish his surname, oh, you bloody mad.
Right.
Not in those words precisely.
Right.
It's the first time I ever swore.
Oh. Why do you think he wanted to take his surname?
I have no idea. It's like he wants ownership over everything.
I mean, the fact that he doesn't think much of you, and then why? I mean,
Yeah, and funny enough, I still couldn't believe that my mother would marry somebody who she caught sleeping with a woman while they were going out, while they were engaged, and had an affair with a guy. The woman still had a rape charge against him, but it came out at the end, it wasn't rape, it was a mutual thing. But I mean, you are with a man like that. What does that, you know what I mean? And he used to like, wara hear about me, and eventually I told my grandmother, and my grandmother said, no, I mustn't tell my mother. I said, no, I'm gonna, because I'm tired of, if one day he's gonna push my buttons too far. But every time he's drunk, then he wants to come with this wara. He just wants to offer massages all the time. I said, oh, if he touches me, I'll kill him. And anyway, ended up working for him. He sells like firewood and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he also liked to hire foreigners like Malawians, and he ended up paying them $150 a day, and for every 10 bags I pack, they pack 1 bag, and I get 50 rand, they get 150 rand a day. I couldn't believe it. And then he wants to still come, you use electric. I use candles in my separate interest, especially when he moved me to the back and all that. But anyway, yeah, so my stepfather and I, the one day we went to Skaapkraal. His brother owned a farm there, and I don't know what, and it was raining hard, and I don't know what happened that he made me cross, and I ended up walking. When I get cross, I like to walk all the way back to my mother's house, and I took my baseball bat and I started hitting everything, waiting for him to come home now, because that was his hiding he's going to be getting now. And this other idiot that used to walk past our house all the time with his brico, with his lips going, you know, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that was just the wrong day to do that, you know, with me, and I don't like crying. If people see me cry, oh, I hate it. And I'm already violent, just hitting everything inside that is his. And I drop the bat and I go at him.
This guy was walking, he's just doing those noises. Right.
Yeah, and I ended up hitting most of his teeth out, and his face rearranged nearly and all that. And as my mother, she works most for the court, so she knows the prosecutors, and you know, says put her in Paul Small. Yeah. He wasn't there, but my mother made sure I went to Paul Small, and they called it a detox week.
A detox week.
Where you had to be in Roach Motel for a week.
A Roach Motel?
I'm telling you, it's terrible. Especially because of double bunks, and then I got all the small cold eyes. I couldn't sleep that week because I'm the longest. There's 4. There's 2 double bunks pushed together, and that's on trial still. So, luckily, I've never been sentenced. Then, for me being the long, there's 4. They put 4 on
a bunk.
Top and bottom. Yeah. And anyway, me being the longest, they put me in the middle. So I was also scared. Just now I turn and kick somebody in the face.
Right.
But besides that, the guys on top, they know the place is always nasty. Thank God the woman, she was like an INA, Rasta girl. The minute I came in there, she asked me, can I braid your hair? I said, yes. So I never had to cut my hair, thank God for that.
Okay.
Yeah, because of the
lice and all that.
And now you've got these bloody idiots hopping around on top there.
And all that is just dropping.
I'm telling you, I kept my head closed all the time. But I couldn't sleep, and I had a photo of my son with me, and that actually got me through that week, because the very day that I was about to leave, it's the only time I ate all my food, because I hate semp. I really, but the small milies. Yeah, I've ate it finished. That's the only time I ate my food finished. And I lost my son's photo somehow. So that was like my strength right through the first week. So my mother didn't expect me to be laughing as I'm coming out of prison.
Oh, really? But you mentioned that was a detox week. So were at that stage, were you quite drugged up? Or were you taking quite some heavy stuff?
Before the story with my grandmother now passing away, my mother Kama had a dream. Oh, now she's so concerned. I'm sitting there. And now fully I've got that in my system.
Mm-hmm.
She says she bought a drug test. Will I take it? I said yes, without even hesitating. You know, I'm the type of person. And anyway, she still wants to stand and watch me. I said, now where must I get other people's urine now to make like it's mine? At last minute, honestly now, you want to stand and watch me pee?
She didn't trust you.
What the hell? I mean, where am I supposed to? Yeah, so I took it, in, but she carried, I wouldn't be surprised if she just carries it in a bag, that test result. Yeah. She actually just wanted it as ammo.
Right.
Yeah, so when I went to prison and when it was time for bail, I almost took them to court as well through those people in Aston, what's it called? Legal aid.
Okay.
Yeah. And that lawyer, she who represented me at that day for the house story. So that was the same day as my bail day.
Oh.
You know, and my mother comes to me and she says, if you want me to pay your bail, sign these papers. I went through the papers. I didn't want to do it, but to me, that is not right anyway. But anyway, I signed it after reading it, but I took a...
What were those papers?
To sign that all my rights over to her, because apparently it's staged in the world, my son and I are to stay in the house. She must pay the rates and taxes. I must make sure everything else is sorted. Which I was willing to do. I mean, even if it had to be breaking a leg or whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, with a mother like mine who needs, yeah, you know.
Okay. So as you, now just step 2 seconds back. In whilst you in the cell there, obviously you're not taking any drugs, right?
Mm.
So now all those drugs are coming out of your system. And are you getting withdrawal symptoms, or are you not suffering at all in while you're there?
I'm actually surprised. I've never really been... I always said I smoked out of boredom, mostly, because, you know, even though I had a lot to do, I never had the, you know, the energy, is the word I'm looking for, to do it. And when my son was sleeping, I was in the other room smoking, and then I cleaned the house, and I did this and that, you know, the things could get done that my grandmother couldn't jump down my plate. But the woman loved to smoke. That was a hobby. So
Oh, were you, was that smoking tick or?
Yeah,
okay,
crystal meth.
Crystal meth, okay. And hence then the cleaning the house and stuff like that.
That time that stuff was, that made you just, I could never understand. I see a lot of people got this. They thought, why is it every time you smoke, you just feel like cleaning?
Was it?
Everybody
is it cleaning?
It's just, well, at least, you know, well, that's with most people, but the others, if they're not catching on nonsense.
Really?
Yeah,
it's cleaning.
It's cleaning.
What do you think that is? Maybe it's bringing up something that the self-soothing thing. You want to clean.
I'm telling you, it's like I just know it keeps you busy.
Well, there's always a spot that needs to be cleaned, I guess,
I'm
right?
telling you, there's always dust. You can do what to.
You'll find dust when you're looking for it.
Yeah, and then when my back is sore, then I sit a bit with my artwork, But I had to make sure I was in the room, because if you had to wake up and I'm not there, you will scream blue murder, like somebody was murdered.
Okay.
So I had to do my candlelight. And so if I wanted to smoke, I go back into the back room and right to the other side. But otherwise, I was my eyes messed up badly from candlelight and fine details.
Right. No, now, you were not working at that stage, or were you working at that stage when you were smoking? And so where were you? How were you making money to buy the
that friend I told you about, with that other friend that you also have interviews with, he started dealing, and he asked me if he could make up his packets in the back room. So I said, yeah. But now every time I want to go out to buy me a packet, he comes in, he gives me a gram.
Okay.
Yeah.
As like payment for you to make this. Right, right.
And I used to smoke grams alone all the time, and I'm telling you, I finally realized one day my clothes aren't fitting. I'm like, until I looked myself in the mirror and I thought, no.
You gained weight.
No, I lost.
You lost weight.
I couldn't believe how much weight I lost.
Wow. And people around you were not telling you, or no one was saying, "Yo, Chantal, what's happening?" I mean, we see you withering away. No one is saying anything.
No one, not one of them. Mostly because they're also on their own little trips with whatever they were doing on their smoking habits and so that's it.
Okay. And that artwork you talked about, like what type of art were you doing?
Oh, before my son, I used to sketch a lot and all that. But after my son, I take shortcuts now with carbon paper.
Carbon paper?
Yeah.
Tell me more, what's that? Like, I don't know what that is.
Carbon is most when you want to make copy, like in a quotation book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever I see something that inspires me, then I trace it down with that carbon. And I do my own, tweak it to my own liking, so that when I do fabric painting again, I've got designs.
Right, okay.
And it also makes me happy to see beautiful things from my making.
Yes, nice. So fabric painting is your thing?
Yeah, it was the only way I made extra money back then, so... Because work was already scarce then. So.
Yes. Okay. No, I think I found this out quite late in my life in terms of just being open to a talent that you might have. You know, it might not be bringing you money at the time, but it brings you joy.
It does, yeah.
You know,
it's like you put a piece of soul into every piece that you make. That's why on that field, when I stayed by a woman the last time. This one over here with the stitches. Yeah, things got a bit too much there because of a lady. The devil left her, and law enforcement taking.
Can I just see what you have written a name on there? What?
No, that's stitches. They had to stitch inside and outside.
Right.
Because of a menorah blade. They said, at least I'm clever. I used a clean menorah blade because a brand new blade that I opened up because it was a box. Like the devil put it in my path. But anyway, a friend of mine that I had, the day she got there, I was bleeding excessively, and she said, come, pack up your stuff, you're coming with me. And I was staying by her for 2 months, and she was busy selling the house and all that, and moving and that. So she bought me a tent, she bought me all the stuff I needed for my fabric painting. She encouraged me a lot, and she gave me a lot of help and support. And I did it lekker, you know, everything went well for a while. And the one day I went to work down in Staines Road, and I come back, my tent is gone. Some of my stuff is lying all over the show, but my fabric paints and everything was still there. And eventually when I pulled my walkie and that, and then law enforcement comes and they just take it. And there was a few bags, my last bags actually, that she actually made because she likes to do little sewing and stuff like that. And she made those bags for me quite a bit. And those were the last 4 bags that I finished. I just needed it to dry, so the next day I could have sold it. And I come back to nothing. So law enforcement likes to take the way you clean up. They love you taking your brooms too. Oh, yeah. I don't know. They have a broom fetish or something. I don't know. So I'm telling you.
What do they do with the brooms? Like,
I don't know. They just take everything. I mean, it's like they want you to be a messy that they can get rid of you there. Or they, you know, they just, they're terrible. I'm telling you.
I mean, do they ever say, I mean, what is your personal experience with law enforcement? I mean, is it
I've lost my whole life, that I've had from my history, my past. due to law enforcement. I was, 3 other people, my ex-boyfriend and 2 other people, they passed away now. Not recently, a few years ago. An activist came to speak to us, and he took photos, but obviously I must be the one now that stands out. So this law enforcement officer, he was gunning for me now because I was in the photo. I said, yeah, I wasn't the only one in the photo. And I don't know how he knew that, those covers you put over the seats of a lounge suite or whatever.
Oh, those plastic cover?
Yeah, it was more like a corduroy, this one, with the zips.
Oh, okay,
I
yes,
used to keep my books and art stuff in there. And my photo albums of my grandmother and my son were in there. And I blatantly remember him saying, take that bag. How he knew that bag was my life, God knows only. Yeah, so I lost that and my IDs, and I've lost a lot through law enforcement. And I'm the only one that never gave them crap. I always laugh at them as they pack up my stuff. I don't know why. It's like I don't want to give them the power of knowing they're breaking apart, While the others will jump onto the bloody vent and like baboons. I'm like, what's that gonna help? How strange that looks. Jy gaan niks regkry so nie. Yeah.
I mean, that's breaking you down and power. I mean, in the streets, I'm assuming that, that's one's daily life and daily struggle is people breaking you down.
Yeah. Having to rebuild all the time, now more than ever. I'm telling you, the people, and there are a lot of scalums. There's so many. Every time you turn your back, you have to think, now, what are you going to go back to? That's why I have to carry bags with me the whole time now, because that's all I literally have left. My blankets and that's the only thing I can't carry with me, because I'm already carrying everywhere. As you can see, my backpack is like a shower.
It's just like you're walking backwards. How heavy the backpack is.
I'm surprised. I nearly knocked somebody unconscious the one that tried to put this thing on.
There is some serious stuff in that backpack, though, hey?
No, I'm telling you. I was like, yo.
But as a single woman living in the street, how difficult is it? And what are the dangers? What are the things that not only have you been exposed to in your own personal capacity, and maybe other women in a similar position as you have been exposed to, that, I can only try and imagine what you go through.
Yeah, no. I've been blessed, unlike some girls I know that have been raped, some of them gang raped. I have been threatened with it, but the Lord had me very strong because I never went through with it. So I thank the Lord for that. But there's always that could happen. But I always tell them, you have to kill me first, because that's the only way you're going to get anything from me. And make sure I'm dead, because as I got upstairs, I say, oh, yeah, I help you. Yeah, no, but luckily most of them respect me, and just like I show them respect, most of them show me respect. But then you get also those other idiots that I am the type of person, I till my last, even if my last was a breed, or no, I always make me, as I say, swak in Afrikaans, for others, and especially when I was living on that field, and those are the ones that come steal, and it hurts you, man, because you're using your head, I'm so strong, no? But I learned my lesson, and I leave it up to the law now, because there's one cop I love to bits and pieces. He really makes life fun. and getting those people because they just get on nonsense and he gives them a good whooping. So
The police officer gives those guys a good whooping.
He'd rather do that than arrest him or something because it's no fun.
But are these youngsters that live within the community, or these youngsters that come from outside and come
all
in?
of them, 99% of the crowd, especially in Plumstead, are from Parkwood or Lavendale or Menenberg or.
So they come at night and then they catch on, or they come.
They come and they stay because it's easy pickings, and then they go let their friends know, like a Tyler house, or easy money.
Oh.
And that's how the more and the new ones.
Okay.
That's why there's a lot of new faces lately as well.
Right. And that's problematic, right?
Oh, it's terrible because the breaking ins and the robberies, oh my head. And then on top of that is the gangster wars going on behind the scenes and nobody knows about. And people falling like flies. It's actually quite sad, but yeah, if they have to do it that way to get rid of each other, the gangster thing must come to an end sooner or later. Because it's a big threat.
What's happening there? I mean,
well, the main game was 3-letter gangsters, and then you get most of the ones from the prison, which they call enormous, which I can't really talk about. Anyway, now they're clashing, and then you get the 3 letters with the regional, they would say their grounds, because this is not their grounds, they're trying to take over these grounds.
right.
But the main guy is not getting it right. And apparently, if you approach you for business and you don't want to do it, you did, klar. That's your option. You either go with the flow or, And he's obviously on the most wanted hit list with 3 other extremely major role players.
Okay.
Which are not Cape Townian or South African in any way. It's the Irish and it's the Russian and it's the mafia members. Yeah, so there's also going to be a big disaster which everybody's going to suffer very hard for that. When gangsters are involved, the innocent always get on.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it coming that close now to the suburbs? I mean, to Plumstead, Constantia area? I mean, is it Wynberg?
It's Wynberg. Okay, Wynberg is like the central for that, but yes, it's plaguing out now because Wynberg's getting too hot, so they're spreading out now.
Okay.
And then you just get the kind of humanities here and there.
But for people like you, once again, I mean, how long have you been out on the streets for?
I was going. Next year will be 18 years.
18 years. Do you remember your first night?
It was storming. A friend of mine that still stays there on Gabriel Estate, he showed me the Zorkie there by the military camp in Wynberg.
At the hospital?
Yeah, it was busy breaking down, but if you were caught in there, the MPs would kill you.
Okay.
But yeah, he sheltered me. He helped me find shelter there. And then more or less after that, then I decided, no, I'm going to my son now. No.
You're going to your son?
Yeah, because I had layers of clothing on and I had luckily a thick jacket on. I was soaked right through. For days I was walking with the same clothing. It was terrible. Yeah. Yeah, that's the time I was... Well, yeah, I'll never forget that.
And how do you cope out there? Like day to day, waking up and just... I mean, I know you said you're a car guard and all this, but if you take me back 18 years when you just came, that first night raining and then the second night, and how do you get yourself, open your eyes and get on with the day, and then
with the Lord's help, believe me. You know, when I was younger, living with my grandmother, I always felt uncomfortable when they my grandmother was a very vaste geloofde mens with Christianity. And when they used to speak about God, and I used to feel very uncomfortable because I had my issues and I didn't know how to approach it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But as I say, the journey I was set on, even though I did make a huge mistake, in the end of the day, personally, it was a wake-up call for me. Otherwise, I would never have had a relationship with the Lord. And believe me, without that in your house, you are buggered on the road.
Right.
Because He is the only one that stops any danger from coming. As far as my life is very boring, actually. Everybody else gets excitement. But most of the time, I just sit back and I laugh at them because that's the only fun I seem to get.
Well, it looks like you've got a front row seat to the movies.
I'm telling you. I told you, I know a lot of characters. You wouldn't believe it. Most of them are still here.
You mentioned that something big happened. What was that big thing? That you said that something big happened in terms of one was finding the Lord, and then another big event happened.
Yeah, no, it's mostly just the journey that He put me on. I am trying very hard, and I have been even before my son came back in my life, to get myself sorted out and stuff like that. And every time you do, or you get close to it, it seems like, the opponent loves you very much. It's like he never takes a tea break. Seriously, he's the whole time.
Under the pump constantly.
I'm telling you, even when I'm sleeping, I can't even sleep properly. They come wake, guys, my friends, or even people I don't even know, come wake me up for a lighter or for something stupid. As if I want to kill them that time. Because there's always when you're sleeping like...
like you had a deep sleep. And then someone just comes and like, in your lighter, imagine.
That was like the night before last. I'm telling you, every time I fall asleep, it's like this one. I fall asleep and it's this one. I said, no, this is getting very ridiculous.
I think maybe you should move. Then once you move, they don't know where you stay.
Oh no, they will find me. They will find me, I'm telling you. Somebody will see me. I've tried.
Like Chantal stays there, then the word goes out.
I'm like wildfire, I'm telling you.
Well, that's why you say you said your life is boring. It's not boring.
Yeah, not for trekking, no. Yeah, no, but yeah. But besides it, as I said, the Lord has made me very strong with all the obstacles He said in my path. And the devil, as I say, can't get enough of me because I got him in his act. He can't get through me, so he can't stand it. Yeah, but...
Have you always been religious?
No, that's what I say. When I was younger, I was very awkward in the conversations. I'd rather step away or ask them, can't we rather just change the subject or, you know, but I met a missionary on the road one day. I was still living on the field in the corner there by Grace Church. In the corner there. And this weird lady comes, she's a wonderful lady. She comes walking and she goes, sorry, she's pulling a cart, that wheelie bag.
Oh, those pull things, yes.
And she looks like an Asian lady with a mohawk and a nose pierced and this pierced, and I'm telling you, she's cool. The most unexpected person. And she comes up to me, she walks through the field and she sees me, she comes up to me. I was making my walkie. And she says to me, can I talk to you for a second? So I said, yes. She goes, the Lord loves you, you know that? I look at her, I say, thank you, I know. So she says to me, she gave me certain messages, and then I'm like, okay, you got me interested. And the way she talks, like she talks to the Lord, is like she'll talk to any normal friend, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, you know what, the Lord likes it when you talk like it. You know why? Because He likes Varek. Oh, I love her too, but seriously. And she always seems to, from that day, she always seems to come into my presence. The Lord sends on my path when whether I realize it or not, I need her the most to just give me an earring. No.
What's her name?
Shelly.
Shelly.
Yeah.
Okay, shout out to Shelly.
Yeah, no.
Shelly. Okay.
I love her too, but she lives in Lansdowne area. She's also went through a hard time with her sisters and her mother that passed away. And her sisters trying to take over the house and all that. But every time I see her, then she talk about a new pigeon that she's saving.
Okay.
Oh, and the cats that she must hold them. Oh, she's very comical. I don't know, but I thank God for people like her every day.
I mean, being on the road, as you say, for 18 years, I mean, what have you learnt about human nature and human beings?
People have a tendency now to block themselves out from the world and live in their own little boxes, especially if they have lost their lives to drugs. There's a certain area close by where I am, and I look at them sometimes. I think, oh, they religiously open their eyes. They don't even think it's drug. And the way they sleep with each other, amongst each other, they got no. It's like they've lost all hope for life, and you know. And then you get the people that are in the houses. That I actually told a man one day in Dordrecht, when you people, I said, look here, son, you people come from a house down the road from you people. I said, just because you live in a hoity-toity house and maybe have lots of money in it, doesn't make you better than me. And I say, you know who the richest people are actually in this world? It's us here on the road. We have nothing, but we're happy. They always used to say, they glimlach altyd. I say, yes, because if you don't smile, life is going to get you down, and you're going to end up committing suicide and going to hell. So, or doing worse. But I was always like that, coming out of my house, no matter what problems I had, if I closed the front door behind me, I will always, even when I'm walking in a zone, I've got a lot of problems and I'm stressing like when I see people, I don't try and give them a reason to ask me, oh, you're right, or say, yeah, you're right, okay, when they pause, I go, okay. Then I go back into my mode. But
yes.
Yeah, I've always liked to make people laugh, and the people know they can trust me with the issues. They come to me, they speak, you know, because they know I'll either ask me advice or whatever, or just to keep between us. They know I'll never speak anything out. So yeah, I'm a Dr. Phil for most people.
Dr. Phil, yeah.
But I gave up the relationship therapy thing because, as I said, those crazy people. I was like wasting your energy.
Really? like give me some relationship advice that people come to you, like, or those crazy ones you mentioned, that they come to you, like what is the on top of their sort of pile?
Where do I start? No, okay. The characters, let's just picture this, okay. She is a girl that works on the road.
Okay.
But she's recently starting to send a robot, which he does.
Okay.
Besides his other habits. And anyway, yeah, and a few years ago, they, when he walks away, she would like pull her face and shout after him and all that, and she will like go to her friends because she knows the lies that she's gonna tell it won't come through me because I'm vet en waarheid as ek.
Right.
I stand by that. And I can smell bull a mile away. So yeah, if you want to blow your scruffies, it's not gonna work. Yeah. And then the other one will come, so her boyfriend will always come to me and he will always say to me, what can he do now? Because she's done this and this and this and this. I said, you know what now? He has been talking about going to ACES now for a long time. I said, yeah, don't do it because you want to run away from her. You do it because you actually want to change your life.
Where's Oasis, like a drug rehab place?
Yeah,
Okay.
When COVID started, they had a camp in Strandfontein.
Oh, I remember that.
I was in the tent, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so. And from there we learned Naeem was owns it, the owner. Anyway, yeah, so stuff like that. I mean, when they were sick, they will always come to Chantal. When they need help with this, I said, when are you people going to come to me and never ask me for anything? Because in here, if it's not a cigarette, I look like a cigarette factory, seriously. I said, cigarettes are expensive. I smoke a lot on my own. I don't need help, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I can find me a box called
Cigarette.
I'm telling you.
How did you survive COVID? Without cigarettes?
I'm telling you. No. Funny enough, okay, I still had a few, and then the one gentleman that worked at social development who was about this lady who likes her mom lick before she can help you with anything. We were very close. And when we were at the camp, he sneaked me in cigarettes and coffee and sugar. I never asked him to. I love the man too, but anyway, yeah. And eventually the cigarettes were hard to get hold of. Then we found out 3 friends from those grounds came with backpacks full of ganja.
Okay. Into the camp.
I'm telling you. And luckily it was like a big field there that was soccer grounds.
Okay, I never saw that. That's the Strandfontein one. That's the one everyone was, there was big media attention towards it.
Yes, because the Bantus tent, they were trying to burn it down and they raped the girl and it was chaos.
What was happening there at that time? Like what?
They had no control there. I mean, Lord, I still remember standing there outside the tent and saying, what the hell's going on? And the law enforcement coming with their shields and the dogs and the smoke coming out there. And they were going over bread. Because they hampers, they got the whole bread, they full peanut butter, and the one that was looking after us, the owner of Aces, he rationed our hampers for us.
Okay.
But without asking us so every time the people went out, then would like go to their tent, and because Jabulani was giving them like a big plates of food.
Okay.
And
so they thought that the one was being unfair to the other one and that type of things.
Yeah, the hamper story, because it was never discussed, you know.
Sorry, Chantal. Can you just step back a bit? If I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that in that Strandfontein compound, for lack of a better word, there were separate tents, and each tent, a company sort of was running each tent. So each tent was run by different companies.
Yeah, I think it was 4, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for somebody, they say it's COVID, but you put 600 men in a tent. We were like sardines in a can. Yeah. And I mean, as you come in there, all your knives in the bin. That's the first thing they do when you come off the bus. And then you go through the hall where they ask you the questions. That's how they test you. Anyway, and then yeah. So you just say yes, no, yes. It could be lies. You don't even know what's going on with your body or whatever. And then apparently a bunch of things got somebody with COVID and all this crap. And I said, COVID to me is...
But tell me, though, to get you guys into the bus to go there, what was the messaging in the first place? Where did they pick you up, and how did they convince you guys to get into the bus?
Oh, well, first of all, a police officer that we know very well came to pick us up, my that time boyfriend, who is now ex. Anyway, excuse me. And I was sleeping in front of the day hospital by the gate side.
Right.
I had okay all the time. And they come there and say, come. I say, you have to go now, you're going to the camp. And so they take us to Pick and Pay in Wynberg.
Right.
No,
so they put you in the back of a police van?
Yeah.
Right.
And then the first, I'm lying. Then there was the second time. The first time, Then they took us to Pick and Pay's parking in Wynberg. And the buses were already waiting there that time. And then a call comes through, COVID broke out because they wanted to take us to town originally.
Okay.
So, thank God for that, because I didn't feel like going to town. Not knowing Strandfontein was even further away from Plum Street. Anyway, yeah.
But at the time at Pick and Pay, you didn't know where they were taking you guys?
No, we just heard they taking us to a camp, but there was a good chance they would take us because the biggest camp is in town.
Okay.
Yeah. And unfortunately now that happened. So law enforcement gave us the lift back. And
back to your tent
yeah,
at the
actually
hospital.
we were all just dropped off by the station, Princeton Station.
Okay.
Yeah, that was more or less the
central location.
Yeah.
Right.
And in any case, yeah, then the second time was not the next day, the day after that, yeah. The same cop comes and picks us up again. And
But he literally drives up whoop, and he says, okay, get in. No explanation, just get in and we're going.
Take what you need, yeah.
Okay.
Which I was, and the second time, one of the gentlemen I know, they were living in the Constantia houses, he gave me a big black bag full of clothing. Come on, old clothing, the labeled clothing, there's nothing wrong with it. I had to leave that and all my books behind.
Oh, no.
The first time I took my books with it, but this time I had to leave everything behind. And then we still took a route around. And then there was always one guy, they called him the robot man. Yeah, by the Interlingia, there by, in front of Ocean Basket.
Yes.
Yeah, he used to be there in front of Plan B side.
Okay.
Guy used to lie there and smoke 3 cigarettes at once. I don't know how he did that.
When he smokes 3 cigarettes and just like, oh, 3 cigarettes. Hey, that guy was going through stuff, eh?
Yeah, I'm telling you, he was a character. Anyway, they found him walking from Stero side and he didn't want to climb in the fence. They said, if you don't climb in, we're going to put a murder case against you. So we jumped quickly.
No way, you can't do that.
He doesn't know that he's a foreigner.
Oh dear.
Yeah, shame. But we actually became very good friends on the camp because everybody was happily smoking the ganja together.
Okay. Also, it turned, because I remember in the beginning there was quite a lot of in the media more than anything else. Like we used to hear, hey, Strandfontein, the toilet's not working, everyone's on top of each other.
Disgusting.
It was, so they sorted the issues out towards the end.
Surely, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a month into it, we were there a month. But I remember the Thursday, just before they said, okay, we are free to go. Some can wait for the bus, but it's only coming on the Friday. A friend of mine decided, back at us, we're walking home. And eventually, and carrying all that heavy stuff of mine.
From Strandfontein to Plumstead.
Yes.
Jeez.
I said, now I understand the long walk to freedom.
What are you thinking? Were you still on your ganja? Still smoking your weed?
No, the cigarettes were coming slowly back in. Then I said, my 2 little radios that I bought, I had to give off for them. I don't care, I just need nicotine.
Okay. Eventually made it.
Eventually I made it. Yes. I know I'll stop in front of my mother's house because the house is on the way.
Okay.
But luckily my brother answered. I said, please give me a black bag. My black bag broke. Carrying all this stuff all the way from Strandfontein. He just laughs and gives me a black bag. Yeah, no. Oh. Yeah, I remember how quiet it was when we got to Wynberg. I've never seen quiet. So Wynberg was dead. And then I have another friend, Shane. When this happened, when I moved into the house, he finally got the courage to go to Kraaifontein shelter, and he's nearly 2 years clean now.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, he looks like a little Teletubby. He's so cute. I said him and Teletubby.
He's gained weight and, fantastic.
Yeah, he comes to visit. He's actually working back that side now because of his job that he lost that side. But anyway. Now, I always say, I'm not the Rome until I see William.
Mm-hmm.
I love him, but he's a very good guy, Shane. And he's also, nobody thought he could do it, but he did it.
Right. Was he also quite bad on
He was the worst, I'm telling you.
Really?
But he was like, you could laugh. No, but luckily when he did his thing, he was comical. Oh
like what? Give me an example.
He was... That corner that I told you about, we called him his Blee Bookie.
His Blee Bookie?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
When he heavy drugged on his work than he is now. He always has small shorts, but they're always too big for him. There's a little black hat, that floppy hat.
Okay.
With the black lens, black frame, glass frames without the lenses.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's walking shirtless and then he's strutting his stuff.
So Teresa is an artist.
Oh man, he was so funny. Yo, yeah, oh yeah, I love him to bits.
Okay, but he's good now. He's
Yes,
okay.
he's healthy, happy, and straight and narrow. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. You're the first person I've spoken to who had I'm not saying an overwhelming, but a decent experience at the camp, because other guys, they were like, hey, they actually, because one of the other questions I wanted to sort of tease you with is this idea of being invisible in the streets, and I hear a lot of the guys that say that they've learned to be invisible and not be seen, and it was very important to have that skill during COVID because
because there's a lot of them that never went.
Yes.
I don't know how they dodge, but William, especially William, he's always been one. I don't know, he's always had his qualities, his little spots.
Mm-hmm.
If you look for William, you can never find him.
He'll find you.
He finds you. I mean, he's also parking cars. He, we gave him when parking time, but when he disappear.
Right.
Unless he was on the field, obviously, making a spectacle. That's one thing you have to, but for somebody who tries to disappear, I'm telling you. I just get more and more attention that it's not wanted. People irritate me.
Is it? Why do you think that is, though?
I don't know. Mostly because I'm not the type of girl just to open my legs for anybody. Like the others, literally. They play hot potato with the men. And they can't get it right, then they steal me blind.
Right.
Yeah. But they don't stop trying. They just keep. I literally know guys who's been trying for years. They just don't want to stop.
Do you sleep with a bat in next to you?
No, I got 3 knives in my bag.
Okay.
Different sizes.
Right.
I call them my husband.
Right.
Otherwise, I got rusty dead back at the
Okay. All right, so you've got some protection. At least you can look after yourself.
But luckily, not luckily, actually, I'm waiting for some action. But the Lord looks after me mostly.
What do you mean you're waiting for some action?
As I said, my life is very boring.
Oh, okay. I'm like, okay, so you're not waiting for action, some guy coming at...
No, there's a
Yeah, please. Okay. Yeah.
No, there's a
Okay.
No, I've got a lot of pent-up aggressions from long loss, and that ex I had, we have a hell of a history. So, he used to be my punching bag. He started first. So, but he used to catch on the biggest load of nonsense, and then it always used to come back to me, and I must now suffer the consequences.
In what way?
Well, he had long fingers and liked to steal from his brothers. He was numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, and then every time I want to do whatever, then they try and pull me in and take my money. I say, you can try. It's like, you can try. They can't damn rob me either, shame me.
Oh, so you must pay for his deeds if he's done something. So okay, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and I just got, and he was in prison the first 2 years. He came out, and our very first fight, he was fighting with a knife in his hand. And I always used to put mine right at the bottom of my bag, because I'm always lazy to scratch the bag because you can see how the bag looks. Everything's on top.
I'd also be lazy to open your bag up.
I'm telling you, you can see what it looks like a bomb. And so, I mean, if you are fighting with a knife in your hand, you are willing to use it. And he's a number 27, obviously, too, so that's just... And he stabbed me here in my shoulder. And so I said, okay, fine, you want to play that way? Came on. And I put the knives on top, and every time he made me cross, and we really went at it. I mean, I don't know if you know Staines Road, the little road that runs at the back of the park in the way I am.
Yes.
Yes. All the way to the Methodist. That's our first fight. But it was just like this.
You fought all the way up there. Chantal, no, man. In the street.
The next day, the one cleaning lady, she says to me, I heard you won. I said, what did I win? She goes, the fight. I said, well, it wasn't actually a competition, but yeah, thank you, I suppose. Because every time we fight, he ends up crying. I said, no, why you started then? He goes, yeah, you do it nicely with a smile. And I say, yeah, because you gave me the stress and tension. It's only fair that I take it out on you. So now I'm relieved, now I can smile.
But I mean, you mentioned earlier on that your dad used to watch your mom going to the shop, and that jealousness and stuff like that, and that's when your aggression started and stuff. And then your life now, in terms of your own relationships, you repeat the same way, the same things.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It is. Yeah, and the funny enough is, I don't know, they always say, if you got daddy issues and stuff like that, then you end up having male issues. And I don't think that's it, because as I said, my father was never a factor. So I've stepdaddy is, but not my father. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
How makes sense of that either.
No. Like I now I know when I see knives, I just back away from you.
Yeah,
No.
believe me, I'd rather take a knife than a taser. I'm telling you, tasers aren't jokes. And nowadays, it's easy for them to get the tasers and the pepper spray. They love pepper spray.
When you say they, who's they?
The ones that catch on their nonsense.
Oh.
The robs the people, and the tasers and pepper spray is the new thing for them.
Oh, so they taser people. And it's...
Yeah.
But I mean, are they robbing because of drugs? So to just for the next tick hit, or lolly, or whatever it is.
Or unga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This drug is a big problem, hey? This drug issue.
Especially the unga. Oh yeah, there's heroin. It's mixed with other stuff. And then you're still standing with it. Needles.
You've never taken that?
Oh, Lord, no, I'm not brave enough to do that. I learn from other people's mistakes. They thank the Lord for that.
Yeah.
I have too many friends that I've lost with it.
I believe it's quite an addictive...
Yeah, heroin is the most addictive. Once you start, it's not easy to... Unless you get, what's it called, methadone. Yeah.
I mean, I remember listening to someone, or it could have been a guest, I'm not sure. Actually, I think it was Cheslin. And I was just asking him what it feels like when you're in jail and you're now going through a detox and you can't. And he says, with most drugs, it's all up in the mind.
It is mind over matter.
Whereas with heroin, it hits your joints. It hits your joints, it hits your internal organs. So even if you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to quit this thing, but your body is just in aches and pains, and you feel like you have sandpaper over your arms, and...
especially the spiking is even worse. I mean, I have...
Spiking?
Yes.
What's spiking?
Needles.
Oh, okay.
They actually have those health people going around giving them needles and all the things they need,
okay.
and this little bucky now to put the needles in.
To sterilize the needles and stuff.
But you get those that just leave the needles and stuff lying around, and those people, if I get all of them, I want to kick them. Now I recently also came to meet a couple, they're heavy spikers. And I said to him, look here, your arm looks like Popeye's arm when he eats spinach. It's so swollen here. And his hand is like double the size because you can't even find an artery or a vein to stick in any. They've started in knuckles and in the neck. And I'm like, ow! Every time I walk to them to go speak to them, they're busy spiking. I was like, stop it! They're like evil on that stuff. It's like they never take an ad break. No wonder there's no arteries or veins.
Yes, that's not... Oh.
Oh.
I mean, can social services or aren't there like government drug rehab places that people can go to that?
They are, but not people. I also believe if you can't rehabilitate yourself outside, the minute you come out, you're gonna be in the loop again. Well, okay, not everybody. Most people are strong enough. Like we can say no. We can be in the presence of them smoking. You'll say no. Even when I used to smoke, I also, if I didn't feel like smoking, I said, no, I don't want it. That's what I say. If you don't know yourself before you start smoking, you lose yourself afterwards. And then you really fall off the wagon.
So you don't really have like that addictive personality where you can get addicted and it's difficult to say no. I mean, because obviously you were on the tick for quite a bit. I mean, how did you? Because it's not easy to get off.
Nicotine is my true love.
was that your rehab, the nicotine, in terms of just helping you out?
Yeah, most of all, cigarette nicotine to me is more of a drug than anything that I've ever tried in my life. Because they think I will kill without it, because the people, they put you under so much pressure and stress, and it never stops. And without that, I would not be able to keep myself sane. So, my sanity medication.
Right.
Yeah, because I've literally seen people walk down in the road, and they're talking to themselves. Now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I have this thingy, with the phone. Then they look at the next, and there's nobody walking next to them, but they're answering for that person too. There's a come on now. I was like, oh my God, no. People are really starting to lose their plot. I'm telling you see the weirdest things.
Really?
I'm telling you. They literally have a live discussion with themselves, but they make it like there's somebody there with them.
Right.
All the way from Weinberg home and all the way back again. I'm like, I couldn't believe this. Even when I was smoking, I would look at these people. Even the women, they start taking their clothes off and seeing things that aren't there and start looking. I said, all right.
Yeah.
So is there something wrong with me or is there something wrong with you? I've never done that. So
right.
I'm like,
but that's the symptoms of the drug, and it's
yeah, if the one wasn't got a thing with the head and the other one is busy taking off a bra and her clothes so I said, please just put those things away. I don't want to see them.
Yeah.
I've got my own, thank you.
Right.
Or if it's not that, then it's after which Tamagotchi's next with the men.
The what?
Yeah, I call it a Tamagotchi.
What's that?
Men. Yeah.
I don't understand.
The shagging business.
Shagging?
Yes, I call it Tamagotchi.
What's where? Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi.
Where did that come from?
They must used to, a few years ago, they must came out with a toy thingy that you had to feed the whole time, like those little. It was on a keyring, and then you it's like a digital thingy that you had to feed and look after it. That was a Tamagotchi.
So you call men that?
Well, not them specifically. It's more what they carry on them.
I'm seriously confused.
The male genital, I call. Yeah.
You call a penis a Tamagotchi?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Okay. Chantal, wow. And to think that we've been having a conversation, and here you are, you're saying you're shy.
I know, but it's a good company. I can't have it. No, you made it easier for me. So I appreciate it.
No. To end off, one of the things that I not only asked the guest, but it came up in our discussion earlier on, is how people judge us. And how that makes one feel, but also how we repeat that judgment onto other people, And I just want to find out, just in terms of how you think about that, how would you sort of Have you ever had such in your life? And
Being on the road, obviously I had. Until today, they would class you as, oh, you're on the road, you're a druggie. Oh, you're on the road, you're a thief. Stuff like that. That's why people that look down on other people like that, I always tell them, you must be very careful. Because number one, no, you can't put everybody in the same basket. You don't know my history. You don't know where I come from, why I'm here. And if people like you actually take the time, which not many people do, just to say, if you really want to be judgmental, first hear my story and then you can maybe judge. But furthermore, you have no right to stand like it. Because I could stand the same way and be whatever against you, judge you the way you are, your mannerism or your habits or But furthermore, not everybody is the same. Some of us, I'm permanently, I think, on the group chat in that area. When they couldn't find anything else to talk about, I'm so pregnant. I said, oh, my mother Mary now, I'm married. I don't know where the baby came from.
And here you're trying to convince me that you have a boring life.
Yeah, it's comical, but
yes,
it's
you're
still
in the group chat and you become the centerpiece of the group chat.
I'm telling you, and every time somebody comes there where I am, I brought them there. I say, I can't make people come or go. It's public or council property. Hulle kan maar gewoon gaan soos hulle wil. Ek kan nie sê nie. But if you do, like everybody on the ground knows, if you do make it difficult where I sleep or work, then I come, you don't want to get down that side.
Right.
Because they get easy access to this because of the naughty things they do. I try and look at it the clean way without any repercussions. So, yeah, and that's hard enough to do. So, and then on top of it, rubbing in my face how many hundreds of notes you got and all that, it doesn't help. Yes, I'm human, I'm going to feel it. I'm not envious, but it hurts to think that somebody would do that when they know you are having a hard time getting a job or, So people that I know, they know there's some people, hey, I got a clean house or I do some gardening, whatever.
Right.
I'm willing for more or less anything, but standing on the road selling my body is not an option. It never has been, never will be. Good. So Cheslin said one day, he's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
He used to, the one day he was eating something, I said, you know what, I'm getting like totally full now of having to struggle like this. Maybe I should become a prostitute. He nearly choked the way he laughed. He said, I say, what? He goes, you, prostitute. Jy vertel hulle is gewoon kakker. I say, yeah, you're right, I know. I just thought I would say that loud just to hear out. But yeah, no, my family, we prefer hard labor. I said, these are definitely not lying on your back ends, as you can see.
But I think that's good. I mean, I think, Chantal, that's good. I mean, it's... I think, things like prostitution and those type of things, you've said it yourself earlier on that you don't want to give someone the satisfaction of them dominating you. You made an example of when people come and they take metro police or the law enforcement. And that speaks to your self-esteem, and I think also that's what you're saying about you, that the prostitution and those other things, it's a no-go for you. I think that's a very positive thing because it tells me that you have a very good self-esteem about yourself, irrespective of where you find yourself. But you still have the dignity and the self-esteem, which is so, so important.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised I still have all my morals and values that I live by strongly every day. Seriously, because, I would respect somebody. I knew a woman once who stood on the road, she passed away many years ago. She did it for her kids. But today, they do it for drugs. Not even for food.
Right.
If that was the excuse, there would have been a different story. But I have no respect for people like that. I'm sorry. You are selling something that the Lord blessed you with, that you're supposed to be cherishing because you are His temple. But you will give it to anything and anybody for money for you to get drugs. It doesn't make sense to me. And there is more to life than drugs if they just took the time and then just stand back and see this, But they are so full of themselves and the drugs and the people that can never be alone for 5 seconds just to register things. As I say, I'm happy. It's myself and the other gentleman is also sleeping there, Polo. Yes. Yeah.
Is he your boy? Is he like
He's
a ride
my
and die?
No, he too. He was very sick at one stage, and I put him on an ambulance, and we just bonded very strongly. But he will always be. You've been anywhere in Cape Town, he will always come check up on me. Kevin. Yeah, but Shame is also, that's why I always say I'm solo like Bolo. That's his nickname. Bolo. Yeah. Yeah, no, if you don't like him too, but he's also had a difficult history concerning his family and people that are involved with certain things in his family. But he notices things that not most people there would notice because they don't take the time to notice it, or they choose not to notice it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, especially for making this a bit not so uncomfortable. I actually forgot I want to smoke a cigarette too.
You see, even cigarettes are forgotten.
Yeah, I know. It's a good conversation, I said so.
Thank you, Chantal. That was lovely. Thanks for your vulnerability and just your candidness, your funny side, and just thank you for being you and sharing this, whatever, two hours with me. And yeah.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It was really an experience.
We must do it again.
Definitely.
I do. I enjoy these conversations. It's better than a lot of conversations I have, I promise you.
I can believe it.
Yeah,
believe me, I know. Where I come from was IQ of 5. If they're lucky. Seriously.
So really, thank you very much.